Is that a worm? Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my backyard for another episode of Quarantine News. Let's talk about what's going on in our nation today. Now, if you could just do me a favor and hit that like button until it turns blue and subscribe, share, and comment, we can get in some good stuff. Just let me know what you'd like to hear next. And in San Antonio specifically, the mayor, Nuremberg, this legislature keeping you from your right to free speech. And the free speech that I'm talking about is the word China virus, or my favorite, Kung Flu. Now, you're allowed to say whatever it is you want to say. That's the beautiful part of this country. As you can see on online media, a lot of people just say all the shit you shouldn't be saying, but they say it anyway, without fear of backlash. And yes, I can see that the negative connotations to that, but also infringing on your rights to free speech is a big deal. Now, they try to label it as hate speech, but labeling something where it's from, where it originated, is not hate speech. It originated in China. It's a virus from China, China virus. Now, calling it Kung Flu, how is that hate speech? That's just funny, all right? There's always going to be those people, whether you call it coronavirus or COVID-19, there's always going to be those groups of people that are going to go and torment Chinese American victims just because they're full of hate and they're just bad people. No matter what laws or legislature you put into place to keep people from using what words, bad people are going to do bad things, period. And that's what you need to understand with your right to bear arms. Bad people are going to continue to do bad things regardless of whatever legislature you put in place. That's why they're bad. So limiting people from their rights, good people, is not the way to go. People become easily offended when the idea of what they think they are supposed to be is infringed upon. So a lot of people are getting overly offended with a lot of things on the media, on internet, on even your neighbors. It used to be a time, not even that long ago, where you could literally have a disagreement with your neighbor, but you guys could have a barbecue the next day. It's not a big deal, you know. Disagree, whatever, shrug it off, get over it. How you doing, Dennis? But nowadays, it's gotten to the point to where when people drive down your street, you can see the animosity. There's just hate festering and building up in people, and that is not good for this nation. That's not good for America. We need to let go of that hatred. We need to get back to our sensibilities and being able to wave to neighbors and random strangers, have them wave back. That's the America we need. And we need to get back to that by just releasing our animosity. Okay, so to the big news, what's going on with this second stimulus package deal that's going on? They're calling it the HEROES Act. What they're trying to request is that the single family member will gain $1,200, and then $1,200 for every child up to 3 children. And $2,400 for a family, of course, sticking with the $75,000 for single, $125 for head of household, and $150 for married, $150K per year, and then $100 drop-offs from there on out. But I don't think that's going to pass too well. I think it's definitely going to be dead on arrival when it hits the Senate. However, there's a lot of other things in that bill other than you just getting a fat stimulus check. It's, for instance, up to $10,000 of your student loans can be forgiven, which is a big deal if that passes. Also, they're deregulating the SALT provision, which is basically just the state and local tax and it's really only going to affect those with huge taxes like New Jersey, New York, California, Chicago, things like that. But the biggest worry that I have is that they're extending 12 months where tenants do not have to pay for rent. It's deferred. And of course, as we all know, tenants that can barely afford 1 month's rent are not going to be able to pay at the end of the 12 months, are not going to be able to pay 12 months of back rent. It's not going to happen. You're going to have a 100% eviction rate come the opening of the eviction courts whenever this is released. Now, it also hurts property owners because, yes, we get to defer our mortgage payments as well in forbearance up to 12 months. And I think it's even just assumed. You don't have to put any special documentation. You just stop paying and it'll be assumed that you are qualifying yourself for the forbearance. However, don't take my word for that. Wait for it to release. But still, even if we're forbearing our own properties, that's pushing us back a year. And a lot of property owners live off of cash flow. So just because we get to push off our properties' mortgage payments, if we're not receiving our rents, we've lost that cash flow. And on top of that as well, it's guaranteed that we're going to have to go and evict dozens of our tenants at the end of this process. So I really don't think that this is going to pass, and it should not pass. That would be just absolute chaotic and idiotic if it did. But the biggest hit is, from what I see, is to apartment complexes. So as it stands, the mortgage forbearance, first of all, if you have your property escrowed, the taxes and all that, then I believe it's saying that the mortgage and taxes and insurance and all the escrowed amount is actually going to be carried by the bank or the lender that you have your mortgage with. However, if you don't have it escrowed, then you're out of pocket, sore out of luck. Once again, I don't think this is going to pass. But the real effect is on the apartment complexes, because apparently the forbearance part is only good for 1 to 4 residential. Anything that's commercial, this doesn't qualify. So that means that the tenants on apartment complexes can go in a full year without penalty of eviction and not pay their rents. They get a full year of rent free, but yet the apartment owners still made to make their payments. Like I said, this is just ridiculous. It doesn't make sense, and I don't think it's going to pass, but that's just the way it's written right now. But not least, guys, I'm going to leave you off with a tip. I wrote a post that I stated for basically never half-assing anything. If you're going to do something, go all in. If you're going to be lazy, all in. If you're going to work, all in. But don't combine the two. Don't mix them. They're oil and water, guys. Don't mix them. And what do I mean by that? Take Sunday Funday, for instance. If you're a heavy worker and you love to work your ass off on your business or whatever you're doing, Monday through Saturday, and you're working, grinding, you eat, sleep, work, that's it. Come Sunday, turn it off. Do not combine work with lounging around, with lazy day, with your Sunday fun day. That's your day to just have fun and go fun hard. That's what I like about the South Koreans, because they know how to implement this. They go hard on their fun, but when they work, they're in work mode. And I can respect the hell out of that. And you guys need to get on board with that train, because that train is the most successful, efficient train that you're going to be on. And psychologically allows you to heal. So when you're grinding 6 days a week or 5 days a week, you need that weekend to heal. Let that weekend be your weekend. Have a schedule planned out for you just to wake up, have some coffee, go for a run, enjoy the parks, get outside for sure, and just enjoy your day. Turn off your brain. It's hard for us to do, especially as entrepreneurs or even ADHD entrepreneurs like me, to turn off the brain. And you have to meditate. You have to focus on that. You have to allow your brain to heal and rest. And don't take my word for it. Go try it for yourself. Hit that like button, share and subscribe. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Also, leaving comments helps a lot. So let's engage, let's get into it, and we'll see you on the next one.